Hello dear students, I am Dr. Sanjay Pagar, Associate Professor, Department of Geography. Dear student, I welcome all of you in this online lecture series on behalf of Maratha Vidya Prasarak Samajas, KRT Art, Beach Commerce and AM Science, popularly known as KTHM College Nasik. Dear student, this is our MSc Geography Part First Class, Semester 1 and title of our subject is Principles of Economic Geography. Dear student, for today's lecture, we are going to discuss our topic number 7, that is economic development in India. And in this topic, we have subtopic that is regional disparity in India. Dear student, in previous lecture, we have discussed a detailed information about Green Revolution in India. It's part 2. And in this part 2, we have discussed about the advantages and disadvantages of Green Revolution in India, and we also discussed need of new Green Revolution in India. Dear student, for today's lecture, we have a study objective very simple, that is to discuss the regional disparity in India. Especially, we are going to discuss about what are the reasons they are responsible for create the regional disparity in India. Dear student, the regional disparity are an alarming issue in India, and it has been widening in spite of the various policy initiatives by the government of India to develop backward area of the country. Regional disparity refer to differences between economic performance and welfare between different regions of India. Economic planning in India aims to reduce regional disparity in development. Especially, I am talking about in the third 5-year plan, it was started that the major aim of planned development or balanced development of different part of the country. Especially, I am talking about the various states of the country. There are many reasons for they are responsible for rise the regional disparity in India. Especially, I am talking about some states are very developed, and other hand, some states are not developed. Especially, I am talking about the state like Punjab, Haryana, Gujarat, Maharashtra, and Tamil Nadu. These are the states relatively well developed economically, while other states like Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Orissa, Assam, Nagaland, and other states that are located in the northeastern part of the India, they are not economically developed too much, they remain backward. Dear student, let us talk about what are the reasons, what are the causes they are responsible for create regional imbalance in India. The first is very important, that is the historical factor. Historically, regional imbalance in India started from the British rules. You know that the British people ruled in India near about 150 years. Most of the industry were concentrated at a few centers that had an efficient link to the port, and this pattern continues after the independence also. You know that the British people wanted to create a lot of profit through the trade in India, especially the cash crop like a tea, like a coffee, or the various cotton and other important things. They want to transport this all the raw material in their country and for their industry's purpose, and therefore during that period the waterway was the main means of the transportation, and therefore for that purpose they selected a location which have a port, and therefore during that period the some states where we have a very good port that was developed too much. When we're talking about the historical factor, the British industry mostly prefer to concentrate in the activities in the two states like West Bengal and the Maharashtra, and more particularly the three metropolitan cities like Kolkata, Mumbai, and Chennai. I just mentioned about the only for the port purpose, because they want to trade through the water transportation. Dear student, this is the main reason, because only this part was too much developed during the during the British rule. They concentrated all the industry and around these cities and neglecting the rest part of the country, and therefore it remained backward. The uneven pattern of the investment in industry as well as in the economic overheads like a transport and the communication facility, irrigation, power made by British people had resulted uneven growth of some area, keeping the other area totally neglected. Therefore, if you see that during that period, if you see the economical development during the British people or British rule, then definitely you will observe that only where they establish their colonies, where they have their important center of their East India Company and the other companies, and only that part of the India was developed during the British people. Otherwise, rest part of the India was not too much developed because British people not concentrated development of the all part of the India. They was only interested in the place where they have their colonies, they have the trade center, and the important places they are located along the coastal uh, coastline of the India. Like just I mentioned about the Chennai, Kolkata, Mumbai, and therefore from that period, this major location, or you can say that this type of these cities are developed too much comparatively rest part of the India. So therefore, the regional imbalance was started from the British people. The main foundation for the creating the regional imbalance in economical field was laid down by the British people due to their own policy and the selfish policy, and they only want to make a trade in India. They want to generate a lot of profit from India, and they are not interested to do the all or development of the India. Therefore, this is the first very important reason. That is why still today the main foundation was laid down by the British people, and this foundation is responsible for the creating the regional imbalance in India. Let us talk about the another important factor, that is geographical factor. That is very important factor. Dear student, the geographical factor play an important role in developmental activity of a developing economy. Dear student, you know that the difficult terrain surrounded by the hills, river, dense forest, and mountain area lead to an increase in the cost of administration, cost of developmental project, and beside making mobilization of resources particularly difficult. Most of the Himalayan state of India remain mostly backward due to the inaccessibility and other inherent difficulties. You know that when we are going to start any new project or that are related to the economic development, and such area like a hilly area, area which is occupied by the rivers and the dense forest and the mountain, then in this region it is very difficult to start the new project because it requires a lot of money. The cost of investment is also increased. Therefore, the planner and the administrator like to start at the main economical project or the in this area. Why? Because they know that in this area it is a very difficult to start a such project. It required a lot of investment, lot of money. Therefore, they neglected in this area. But other hand, the EP area is very good. The with plain area, then different, and it is a easy to invest the money, started the new project. Then therefore, the administrator or the planner or the government give more concentration in such area where they would like to invest less money. Other important factor, that is the adverse the climate. This is also very important factor that has also create the regional imbalance in the development. You know that for example, if an area having a drought prone area, or maybe the flood prone area, then definitely this is also responsible for the poor rate of economic development, because in such area the government or anybody not like to invest the money, not would like to start the new project that are related to the economic development. Though therefore such area is always remain backward. And especially I'm talking about the the in this area where the climatical is very adverse climate, a very hot climate, or I'm talking about the temperatures are very high, or temperatures are very low, or maybe the less rainfall or too much rainfall. These all things are not what I can say. It is not easy to in such area. It is not easy to start at the new project because there is always negative impact of that climatical condition on that project. So it is not support to the economical development activity and also the new project. Therefore, such area is always remain backward with respect to the economical development. And if you see the very adverse climatic condition, if you see in India, that it may be the part of the Kutch, part of the Rajasthan, due to the high temperature, and the low temperatures always we have a most part of the Jammu Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, and this area. So, or you can say the flooded area we have in the Assam, some part of the Sikkim, Tripura, and some part of the Bihar, West Bengal. These are the states only due to the flood condition and the adverse climate. This area is remain undeveloped due to the such type of climate condition. Therefore, this is also very important climate condition. And other important thing, geographic factor, a area which have a very good mineral resources, that area is always developed when we are talking about the industry development as compared to rest part of the country. If you see if you remember that I also given this example in my previous lecture that why the Chota Nagpur plateau, this area is developed, industrially developed. Jamshedpur was the center, is the center of that area. Why it is developed? The credit goes to that availability of the mineral resources in that area. So this is also geographical factor because this area have a lot of mineral potential and also the mining activities flourish there and that always support to the industrial development. That is why this area as compared to the other surrounding region it developed too much. So why it is due to the again the geographical factor. Therefore, dear student, if the geographical factors are favorable, then definitely this area developed comparatively too much as compared to the rest part of the country. Therefore, this is also a very important factor that are responsible for the creating the regional disparity in the development. Let us talk about the another important factor, that is the location advantages. The location advantages are playing an important role in determining the development strategy of the region. Due to some location advantages, some regions are getting special favor in respect of the site selection of various development projects. Dear student, you know that some states have a better position in terms of geographical location, mineral and other natural resources. The others are lacking behind in this aspect. If you see, determine the location of iron and steel industry or the refinery or any heavy industry project, some technical factor included in the location are getting special consideration. I just mentioned about the example of the Chota Nagpur plateau and Jamshedpur are given the some part of Mumbai also develop as an industry center. Why it is developed industry center? Because due to this location advantage is the port side and a lot of administration centers are there. And what do you say? During British period, the Mumbai was important the port of the India, and today also it is the economical capital of India. And we have a lot of the very good infrastructure, and that is the local advantage of the Mumbai. And same thing we have in the Chennai, in the Kolkata. These are the city, and even the Delhi, Bangalore. Then we have the Pune. Why these all cities are developed economically? Because due to their locational advantages, and therefore you know that a city or a region or the state which have a very good locational advantages that are supporting for the economical development or some the economical project, or you can say the various the project, then definitely that area is developed too much as compared to the surrounding area and rest part of the India. Therefore, this is a very important factor that are responsible for the creating the regional imbalance in development in India. Dear student, the regional imbalance arises due to the such location advantages attached to the some region and the locational disadvantages attached to the some region, and that is definitely we have disadvantages if we have attached with the, you will see that the most of the disadvantages attached with the backward region of India. Especially I am talking about the northeast India. This is a region where we have we don't have too much location advantages if you're talking about the economical development and the industrial development. And in the other hand, we have Punjab, we have Haryana, and some part of Uttar Pradesh, in the part of the Maharashtra, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal. These are the state developed with respect to the industrial development. Why? Again, I am talking about the location advantage only due to the location advantages. Therefore, this is a very important factor that are responsible for creating the regional disparity in our country. Let us talk about another important factor, that's the basic supporting facility, or you can say the infrastructure. Dear student, some basic supporting facility like transport, communication, power, technology, banking, insurance, and so many things supporting system are very important for support the economical development of that region. And dear student, you know that if a region have this all type of the facility, then definitely it support and attract the most of the investment in the project, and that responsible for creating the economical development of that area. Due to the adequacy of such facilities, some regions are getting a special favor in respect of the settlement of some development project, whereas due to the adequacy or the negative things of such facilities, some region of the country that is like a northeastern India, Himachal Pradesh, Bihar, and some states that are located in the mountain region of the Himalaya remain much backward as compared to the other developed region of the country. Again, why it is why it is happen? Only due to the infrastructure that are available in that particular region. So therefore, this is very important. If you want to see, if you want to develop any new project, that time the investment or the industrialist or the businessman, what is saying, whether that part have some basic infrastructure, and if it is not, then definitely he would not like to invest the money or start new project in that area. And in other hand, if this region have very good network of the transport, communication, banking, and have a good human resources or technological development, then definitely that type of the region, always the industries favor for the investment. Moreover, the new investment in the private sector has general tendency to concentrate much on the region having basic infrastructure facility. That is very important. Why the Pune, Mumbai, Nasik, Aurangabad, these cities of the Maharashtra is developed. Again, this thing is very important because this city have a very good infrastructure that are support for the economical development of that particular city. And on the other hand, we have a city, we have a Nandurbar, we have some cities that are located in the Marathwada and some part of the Vidarbha. They remain the undeveloped. Why it is? Because they don't have the good infrastructure that will be the support for the economical development of that states or that city. Therefore, this is also important factor that are responsible for create the regional disparity in India. Let us talk about the very important another factor, that is the failure of the planning mechanism. Dear student, this is a really very important factor. From the first plan to seventh plan, if you see, the Punjab and Haryana have received the highest per capita plan outlay all compared to other states. The other three states like Gujarat, Maharashtra, and Madhya Pradesh also have received a larger allocation of plant outlay in almost all 5-year plans. But on the other hand, the backward states like Bihar, Assam, Orissa, Uttar Pradesh, and Rajasthan have receiving a very smallest allocation of per capita plan outlay in most plan of India. So therefore, dear students, this state remain undeveloped because from the beginning they don't get a lot of thing or lot of investment to invest in that area. Therefore, the remain economical development is not happen too much when we compare with the state like Punjab, Haryana, Gujarat, Maharashtra, and Madhya Pradesh. So this is the our failure of our plan mechanism. Due to the such divergent trend, imbalance between the different states in India has been continuously widening in spite of framing the achievement of the regional balance as one of the important objectives of our economic planning, which was we decided in 1951. Dear students, therefore, we don't able to invest the money equally in all states of the India. Even from the beginning also, we see that there is a imbalance in the investment and allocation of the money for the starting the new projects. Therefore, this is a really very important reason. That is why we have still we observe the regional imbalance in economy and the social development of India. Let us talk about the another important reason, that is the marginalization of the impact of the green revolution to certain region. Dear student, this is a really very important reason because you know that the economy of India is a agriculture economy, and you know that green revolution was an event that are greatly impact on the agriculture development of India. In India, green revolution has improved the agriculture sector to a considerable extent through adoption of the new agriculture strategy. We already discussed about it was started in the 1965. But unfortunately, the benefit of the such agriculture strategy has been the marginalized to the certain developed region, the keeping as the other region totally untouched. Especially, I'm talking about the state like Punjab, Haryana, or some part of the Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and Gujarat. This state receive a good attention during the green revolution, but rest part of the India don't have too much attention with respect to the agriculture development during this green revolution period. Therefore, only the few, even the only 3 states like Punjab, Haryana, and some part of the Uttar Pradesh was developed too much with respect to the agriculture development of the green revolution. But other remaining states are not too much developed, and therefore they remain undeveloped. They remain economically backward, And in even today also, the agriculture development is not too much we observe in remaining part of the India. So especially I'm talking about the northeastern state of the India. They have some good local conditions that are also very good for the agriculture, but even they remain untouched. Why? Because from the green revolution period we don't give too much attention toward the agriculture development of the state. Therefore they remain agriculture backward, and that is the main reason. In that reason today also we observe there is not too much economical development in this new way. Agriculture strategy has been aggravated regional imbalance due to its lack of the all emergence approaches. Therefore, dear student, this is also very important reason for behind the uneven the economical development in India. Let us talk about the lack of motivation on the part of the backward state. Dear student, the growing regional imbalance in India has also been resulted from the lack of motivation on the part of the backward state for the industrial development. While the developed states like Maharashtra, Punjab, Haryana, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, these all are trying to attain the further industrial development because they have a very good platform for the economical development as compared to the other backward state of the India. But the backward state have been showing their interest in politics and the manipulation of the instead of the industrial development. And that is the main reason that area is not to develop when we compare with the developed part of the India. Other important part, that's the political instability. Yes, dear friend, this is also very important factor that are responsible for the creating the uneven economical development and the social development in particular region. Another important factor that for the regional imbalance is the political instability prevailing in the backward region of the country. Dear student, if you see even today, you know that when we have the political unstable government, then definitely it is not favorable for the attracting the investment in that area, or new people, new businessman, or the planner would not like to start the new project due to the political instability of that area. If you see some part of the country, why it is remain undeveloped, it is not developed too much due to the only political instability. Even let's see the example of the Jammu Kashmir. That is a very important example. That due to the from the Independence Day of India, we have the political instability in this region. Therefore, in that region, no industrialist or the new investment would like to invest in that area. So why it is? There is always political stability. But in other hand, we have some state where the political instability is not too much. Therefore, this state attract the too much investment in economical field and in industry. Therefore, they develop as compared to the other part of the country. Let us talk about some differences that are very useful for to you to update your notes, and I also use all the references for making my PPT as good as possible. Dear student, this was about today's lecture. In next lecture, we are going to discuss a very important topic, that is the globalization, the impact of globalization, that we are going to discuss in our next lecture. Okay.